All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead video for today, leading up to the 9th season for the Walking Dead television series. In this one, we're going to give our thoughts on Andrew Lincoln confirming at Comic-Con that Season 9 will be his last time reprising his role as Rick. And I'll put the link in the description to deadline.com so you guys can go ahead and check this one out, as well as a link to my t-shirt store, Trev's Channel 2 t-shirts. If you guys haven't got one yet, you can grab one there, help support the channel. It's all fun, good stuff. Andrew Lincoln confirming that this is, in fact, his last season for Walking Dead. So he had said at Comic-Con, quote-unquote, "This will be my last season playing the role of Rick Grimes." Andrew Lincoln told Comic-Con today on the Walking Dead panel, "I love this show," he declared. "It means everything to me. I love the people who make this show. I'm particularly fond of the people who watch the show," so the fans, right? So then it says, "I don't want this to become an Oscar acceptance speech or an obituary." It cleared emotional, Lincoln said to the packed and eerily quiet Hall H as he addressed the elephant in the room of his departure, which Deadline first reported back, a little while ago. And it says, quote, "My relationship with Rick Grimes is far from over," Lincoln added, telling fans how amazing the role has been for him professionally and personally, turning to thank many of his castmates and the EPs on stage with him. The Love Actually alum made a point of saying he was departing to spend more time with his family back in the UK and taking some time off. The sometimes close to tears Lincoln added that the long-running The Walking Dead still a lot of runway to go because no one is bigger than the story. So this one, and that's it for the comments that were quoted. Hopefully in the next couple days we can find the actual entire posting of it, and then we can, watch it through together. I haven't seen the actual panel yet because literally yesterday I just did all the videos with you guys that I worked, and now I'll get it again today and do the same thing today. So it's like the same deal. So I haven't had a chance yet to go through and actually watch all the Comic-Con footage all the way through, but confirming he's leaving The Walking Dead, but specifically, "This will be my last season playing the role of Rick Grimes," which is a little bit strange the way he kind of contradicts it here. "My relationship with Rick Grimes, Mr. Rick Grimes, is far from over." So that's strange. So my relationship with him is far from over, but this will be my last season playing the role of Rick. So it's a bit tricky here to what he means, but this will be my last season playing the role of Rick Grimes. So for anybody, who's kind of thinking right now, certainly you guys can leave your comments below. But based on the first comment here, it sounds like he's not going to be coming back to play Rick ever again. My last season playing the role of Rick Grimes. So I don't know. I almost want to say I don't think that's probably true. I think he'll probably come back for maybe a hallucination sequence or some kind of thing like that in the future, because John Bernthal probably would have said that he would never come back to play Shane, and of course he's going to be coming back for at least a scene or two or something here in the first half of Season 9, which is going to be wicked cool to see. But it sounds to me like, and based on everything we've kind of heard so far, it sounds like Rick is going to be killed off this season. So I've kind of said that before, and I'm sticking to that with him saying this now, confirming for us this is going to be his last season playing Rick. And that no one character is bigger than the overall story. So the story is going to continue, without him. It's pretty unfortunate for fans of The Walking Dead, because even though, while I don't know if it's necessarily true in the eyes of the fans what he's saying. I mean, I hear what he's saying. He's saying that Rick himself is not bigger than The Walking Dead, right? Rick is not equivalent. Rick isn't The Walking Dead as a whole. But I've seen so much feedback from fans already that that's exactly what they think it is. Like when they think of The Walking Dead, they think of Rick, right? So he's the first one they think of. So it's kind of difficult to tell the fans that that's not the way it is when that's the way they kind of see The Walking Dead. Their version of Walking Dead always includes Rick. So to see the story continue on afterwards without him, and getting this confirmation now that this is going to be his last time playing Rick. So yeah, for people who thought maybe he'd be captured by the Whisperers and then eventually would escape and come back into the store, or he was just taking a break for a couple seasons from the series or a season, then he'd come back later. It's strange, it's very strange with the way kind of is quoted here. But to me, I mean, based on everything here, because he says he's kind of taking some time off, but it's like that almost sounds like he would be coming back later if he's taking time off. And that just doesn't sound like the case to me. It sounds to me like they're going to kill him off this season. There may even be some clips in the trailer of his death sequence. There's one with some blood dropping down onto someone's boots, and it looks a lot like Rick's. It looks like it could be him. Also, kind of all the reports we've heard over the last couple of months, the fact they're having John Bernthal come back, none of this sounds like it's he's going to leave in a helicopter and come back type of thing. None of that sounds like it. When he says it's his last season playing Rick, that to me sounds like, probably the contract negotiations and the things that happened this year coming up didn't go well, and maybe his family decided like, okay, you gotta, maybe the wife pulled pulled the boss card and said like, okay, you gotta choose one. If you resign, you're gonna be leaving for the next 7 years or whatever, leaving me here to do everything else. Well, you go off and work, jerk working, in the States, maybe she pulled the D card, right? The divorce card. Like, it's like, damn, well, okay, I guess you gotta do what you gotta do, right? It's just that it's unfortunate for fans and I'm not saying that's what happened. I don't know, you know what I mean? This is personal stuff. So, so it's like, who knows? But really, the reality is that, it sounds like he's not coming back as Rick. This is the last season as Rick. And, it's true that your family is more important than your work, right? Your family is more important than your job. Your family comes first. And so if it came right down to it where you had to choose between them, then of course you're going to, anybody would. You're going to go with your family. Of course, it's the right thing to do. And at the end of the day, it is just a TV show. We all have fun. We are all entertained by it. It's a huge TV show, but at the same time, it's not real life or death, right? It might be life or death for fictional characters, but not real life or death for these people. And yes, they do have families and do have lives as well at the same time. So. Yeah. So I know there's been some conflicting reports online about, what's going to happen with Rick, whether or not he might leave and come back later. And I just wanted to kind of start this video off for today because I think it's paramount. It's the most important takeaway from Comic-Con this year, even more important even than the Whispers coming in, because villains are great. But, I mean, literally, we're talking about Rick being killed off this season. And based on this information here, based on what he's saying, that's it for him. Rick will be killed off this season, unless they recast him, which I really don't think they're going to do. And that just doesn't sound right at all. Rick's going to be killed off, guys. So there it is. Look for it in the first half. That's probably going to be what happens here. And unless there's some kind of crazy, conspiracy thing or, mislead dumpster situation, this is it. Rick's done this season. So got to watch it, man. That's the reality. Like, got to watch it. Got to see how his journey ends. And we got to respect the fact that he's moving on. And, it's crazy, man, but that's what it is. So this will probably be his last, I would think his last Comic-Con, unless he decides to come just for fun, maybe later on, in the coming years for Walking Dead. So, yeah, man, crazy stuff. Rick's going to be killed off, not leaving, and to come back later, killed off and probably gone for good. Crazy stuff. Sorry to kill your Santa Claus if you guys were expecting, Christmas presents or whatever. Brian Joseph says, where is Mmmoorraaaallleesss? So I had to include it there as a good one, Brian. I laughed at that one when I saw it. But it's like, can we just let it go? I'm never going to let it go. It's never going to be let go. It's always going to be here. Zombie mode, right? Tim F says, listen to... See, that's why Daryl can't take over the show. He killed Morales, right? Tim F says, listen to the very end of the Mud Sea with headphones on. I swear I can hear, where are from the herd. Yeah, I think so. It's one of those, it's a tricky one, right? Like you watch it the first time and it's kind of like, you kind of see it, but then you kind of hear it, but then you hear all these muffles at the same time, so you're kind of not sure. And then when you listen to it back again, especially if you have good quality, stereo, surround sound headphones or whatever, our computer speakers suck, right? So that's one thing you got to watch for. built-in computer monitor speakers are not that good. So you probably need a headset, or you probably need something where you can hear it, with surround sound and everything, or good quality. And yeah, you can hear it. You can hear the "Where Are They?" So that's very cool. It's like right out of the comics in terms of the scene, except for the characters are different. In the comics, it's a different character. But that's very cool, and I'm happy they included the Whisperers in some way in the trailer. They didn't give us a lot. They just gave us a hint at it. But damn, dude, there's other important stuff going on as well, too. I mean, Rick being killed off is like, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's more important than Whisperers. Yeah, you're right. Nadia N says, can someone explain to me why everyone is mentioning a windmill and Commonwealth? I never read the comics, so bear with me here. So yeah, they did build a windmill for the season for the set, and they've done a great job. That's one thing we got to mention, right, guys? And leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about this. The sets look awesome this season, right? All the different environments, how different the show looks, because it really does look a lot different. Some seasons the show's like, Daryl's Daryl, and Rick usually looks mostly the same. Sometimes he's got beard, sometimes he doesn't got beard. But everything in the whole series, I think, looks really different this year. And I think that's exciting as well, too. Of course, you got the zombies there, but everything else looks totally, completely different from the prior seasons. The horseback and everything else, and all the characters, like the amount of characters looks like it's more than ever. So really cool, man. Really, really cool. Looking good. The windmill and all that stuff, again, just going the extra mile to really build that setup and make it look good. Connected to the Commonwealth does this confirm that Georgie, who came in last season, is from the Commonwealth and is their governor, or their Governor Milton? From the comics, Pamela Milton, she's the governor of the Commonwealth in the comic book series version. So the Commonwealth is another community that most likely is going to come in later on. There's also a Toledo there somewhere. So I want to take some time. Maybe tomorrow we'll do a full breakdown of everything in the trailer, because there's just so much stuff, and people are commenting more stuff all the time, and little things they've noticed, like the blood dripping on the boots and stuff like that. It looks like it's Rick's. So we'll do a breakdown soon, probably tomorrow with you guys. And yeah, man, it just wow, dude, it looks really cool, man. It looks really, really good. So yeah, but it's just for Nadia, it's just some stuff from the comics, an upcoming group, and awesome sets that they've put a lot of work into for this year, and you can tell it looks great. One Dippy Chippy says, "I will legit cry. Don't judge. I have grown a bond with the characters." I think that's normal this season. With Rick being killed off this year, that's normal to cry. I think I'll probably cry too when they do the final scene with Rick and we actually get to see Rick's death. I just can't believe we're going to see it. Like, that's the thing. Like, at least they let us know ahead of time so we can brace for impact, right? But it's still going to be crazy, right? Like, it's still going to be nuts to see that go through. I think a lot of us are going to be crying for that scene for sure. Joey Marie 79 says, "This trailer got me hyped again, a bit hyped again. It was jam-packed with good dialogue between characters. I don't think it was the best season trailer, though." Well, it depends on the part of the story you're looking at. This is a new beginning, so in terms of the storyline from the comics and what we're coming in with, I think it's a great trailer, considering the story arc in the comics is mediocre, I want to say. It's not the best part of the comics, in my opinion. New Beginning is like, it's okay. It's not great. It's certainly not as good as All Out War in the comics, for me anyway, as a reader. Not even close. But I'm surprised that compared to Season 8, it looks really good. Season 8, with everything they did with All Out War and that, I'm impressed with how good this looks, considering it's not really that kind of a part of the comic that's that... that I view as that good. So, of course, add into that the Rick stuff and the Whispers coming in, and man, all kinds of awesome stuff coming up. So it's not just the trailer itself, like what's contained in the trailer. It's the fact that things are going to change so much this season, and even after they kill Rick off, even after Rick, what is the show going to be like, man? They certainly have enough characters in there. As you can see, they've got tons of characters in there to replace some of the ones that are going to be killed off. So there's that, but man, it's going to be such a strange show after they kill Rick off, man. And then there's Maggie leaving as well too. So what the hell are they going to do with that? I have no idea, man. Crazy. And then Summonz Overwatch said the trailer was good at all, but knowing Rick is going to be killed all the hype for me. So, it's a thing, man, for sure. It's a big thing with the season that this is going to happen. But if you look at everything else in the trailer, it's still The Walking Dead, right? Like, even that's kind of like arguable, right? Like some people say, no, it's not Trev. It's not Trev walking in without Rick. You know, it's like, I get it. It's true. It's going to be tough, man. It's going to be a tough year to see it all go through. But everything else does look really compelling, right? Like everything else you see, you know, even without Rick, looks really, really compelling, and looks like it's going to be really good. And Izzy A was the one who said, are those Rick's boots with blood dripping down at 2:30? Sure looks like it to me, and I think you're right. I think that's what it is. And then the last one is from the Air Aid Lord, who said, Samantha Morrison just got cast as Alpha. I had to do a double take during the Comic-Con panel. What are your thoughts, Trev? So that one will be next. We'll do that video later on today. I'll do another one for you guys today here, and we'll give our thoughts as her, as Alpha, and then breakdown video probably tomorrow, or as soon as I get it done with you guys. I hope you liked the video today, guys. Let me know what you think if you liked it. Please don't forget to thumb it up below. Share, favorite. You know, subscribe if you're new. That's it for this one. See you guys again soon for another Walking Dead video. As always, this is Trev, and I'm saying peace later, guys. See you soon.